Yo, what's good, y'all boys? I'm back again with another YouTube video. I know it's been a second since I've dropped the video, so I wanted to come back and do a trade recap today. Today is April 30th, is the last trading day of the month, and we ended out with a bang. So I'm just now getting onto Lucid. A lot of people have been saying it's a good prop firm, and especially with Top Step adding their bullshit rules that they wanted to do. I had to find a new broker to work with, and Lucid was the move. So I've taken about four trades since I've got on these accounts, and they've all been wins. And so I kind of wanted to go over my thought process as I'm about halfway past on these evals, and I fully passed another set of evals on Lucid as well. So with evaluations, what I do is I always just target 75 points, risk 25. So I risk $500 to make 1.5K. And so with that, that gives me about two trades per day if I'm risking about $1,000. So I can take two trades. The first trade, I target 75 points if I win. If I win, I'm done for the day, halfway past. If I lose it, then I target 100 points for the next trade, and I still risk 25 points. So either way, I'm taking A plus setups. And you can see this was the setup that I had taken yesterday, just a nice little inversion play. I think my drawn liquidity was the session high, this New York session high, right? So I was just targeting these session highs. This is a very easy play. I'm not going to go too in depth on this. Just a very, very nice play that I took yesterday. And so what I wanted to take note of is that Asia expanded extremely high off of open. We went 400 points up, and then we came back and dumped the 400 points coming back down. Now, I was just about to go to bed, and my homies in my group chat texted me about the price action in Asia, and that's when I opened. I seen, okay, we pumped and literally dumped immediately. So I'm like, all right, like this price action is good. Let me take advantage of it. So I hop on at about this time right here, 1 a.m. And I wanted to short this move because we did have an inversion right here. So we did have this inversion play right here. And I wanted to short down to this new day opening gap because as you can see, we left this gap right here that was unfilled. And I marked it out as a drawn liquidity. New day opening gap is a very, very good drawn liquidity. You can use it like new week opening gap or like a data high, data low. It's a very, very prone drawn liquidity. It's an imbalance in the market that we want to always take out. So anyways, I wanted to take this play, but ended up not presenting itself because I realized we had this 15-minute above us that was untapped into that I wanted to see price displace into before I shorted. So I didn't short anywhere down here. I actually waited for this 15 minutes to get ran into, and that's when I took my first short, which was right here off of this inversion. Once we got this close right here, this is where I entered off of, and I was targeting all the way down to new day opening gap. So as you can see, this trade didn't even end up playing out. I actually got stopped break even in this play because I went break even at this internal low right here. So I went break even right here. So I got break even on this play, and I was like, all right, like let's see if bias still holds, and we might be able to get another entry. So literally as soon as I got break even, we immediately got a Drake candle to the downside. I'm like, okay, now we inverse this move again. Like this is the second time I'm getting into this trade. It has to work. I love this play. Honestly, my probably the A plus setup of the week, just because we were ejecting out of this 15-minute. We still had confirmation to the downside. Drawn liquidity new day opening gap was very, very valid. And we also had an S&T at this high right here. 1 minute inversion was very nice and clean. Got a very nice entry, and the break even was beautiful at this internal low right here. So just a very, very A plus setup, and I loved it a lot. I had complete conviction in taking this trade. And again, this is at like 1 in the morning. Yeah. 1 in the morning. I didn't get out the train until about like 2 in the morning. So ended up playing out, took my 70 points here. I think I actually held it for 75 points. So it was like something like that. But again, just a very, very good setup. And this is the trade that I took to pass my accounts that I posted on my story. Now, right after that, again, this displacement was very good. Like I have not seen Asia move like this. I think it's just because I don't be on the markets. I think this is actually London at this point. I don't really be on the charts at this time. It was just a very rare occasion. And we also got another play right after that play, rejecting out of this 5 minute gap right here. So we had this 5 minute gap that we wanted to see hold within that 5 minute gap. Once we got that displacement out of that 5 minute gap, we inverse this move that brought us down. So I entered a little bit before. I entered right here. You could have entered off of the close and been fine as well. But I entered a little bit before. Took a nice little 1-to-1 right here with stops below this swing low and TP at this high right here. The reason I took this trade too is because we made these relative equal highs that I have marked out right here. So I took the inversion play. Could have probably went break even right here. Once we made the swing low, you could have went break even here. I took partials in this trade, so I took a $400 partial, and then I let the rest of the trade ride. So it was a very, very, very clean A plus setup day. For Asia session to be moving like this, bro, for three A plus setups to happen, I was like, bro, this is crazy. So anyways, going into the rest of the session, we end up expanding once again 351 points to the upside. But this is honestly crazy P. And we're still in this range. Like, I want you to keep in mind that we're still in this range. We're going up, going down, going up, going down, still in this range. So this is the main thing that I'm keeping note of, is because we are expanding, but we're still in the range. So coming into market open now, which is right here, the only drawn liquidities that I had at this point was basically this all-time high, which is right here. That was paired with Asia high. And then I also had this data low below us. But I did not know if this is a data low right here. So I didn't end up taking it. If I know it's a data low, you could have probably shorted this move right here off of an inversion. You could have took this as a data low in a play similar to like this right here. Could have just took a nice play like that, like nothing really crazy. But I didn't take this pre-market just because I didn't know if this is a data low or not. It's at 8:44 a.m. So it was like, I don't really know if this is a dollar, so I faded it. Anyways, we opened, we completely dumped, no retrace at all. I'm pretty sure we dumped like 200 points immediately off of open. Yeah, we dumped 230 points off of open. And at this point, I'm like, okay, like this hourly is going to be the determiner if we're going higher or not. So we reject, pull back up. And at this point, I thought we were actually going to go higher once we started rejecting this hourly gap I have marked here. But we ended up not. We flushed right through it. Hourly didn't matter. So now at this point, the only other drawn liquidity that I had was this London low here. And this is what I waited very, very, very patiently for, because I knew that this is going to be where we flipped, because we're still in this range. We still have this London low below us. We have all this liquidity that we just took out. We're bound to flip, but we need to take out something external, and that ended up being the London low. So scaling down to the 30-second right here where my entry was at, I waited for us to actually sweep this London low, and I took this play early as well. And so the thing I want you to realize is that market discretion is very, very major when it comes to trading, because this is a trade that I've seen play out time and time again, but it doesn't mechanically follow my system. But from trading the market for so long, I know that this is a good trade. And I honestly wanted to hold it to this wick right here, which would have literally basically top tick this move. But either way, it was still a good play. So I took this play early. And I said to chat that if you want to take this play, I'd wait for this 30-second to get inverse. So you could have waited for confirmation off of this 30-second right here. I didn't want to wait for, I wanted to get a better entry because of where I wanted my stop loss to be. Again, a lot of times you need to be entering trades and being accountable for where your stop loss is going to be, because sometimes I've seen with a lot of inversion traders, they'll enter a trade. Like, let's say we get the close right here and you're still running a 25-point stop loss, which is what I usually run. You're going to get stopped out in a position like this. You would have got stopped out just for it to run, higher and eventually to TP. But in a situation like this, where we sweep major sell side liquidity, we're obviously about to revamp this entire move that we just completely ran through. It makes sense for me to enter the trade right here, because my stop loss is now in a place to where if market were to come back down to my stop loss, the trade is invalidated. Because at this point, we're just going to dump. We're going to dump it to Narnia. So you don't know. But since I entered where I entered at, my stop loss is protected, and I had a good entry point, and that's the reason I won this trade. So we ended up inversing this move, got a nice move higher. I targeted this high right here. Wasn't really no drawn liquidity in this position right here. It was more so just targeting my 75 points, getting out of the trade. Getting out of London low is my fault to the upside. So above us, we actually did have an unfilled 15-minute, which I did like a lot. And you can see that's kind of where price is stalling at now. So this is honestly the best drawn liquidity. If you were bullish on the day, you could have held this all the way out to basically the unfilled 15-minute, caught 180 points, pretty much bottom took this entire move all the way back up. So really not a bad play. Really, really good trades today. Within the last 24 hours, I think I've taken 4 trades. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've taken 5 trades in the last 24 hours. All of them have hit. One was break even. So pretty nice way to start the month, or I guess start the new month of May on these Lucid accounts. So I'm on these Lucid Pro Flex accounts, or Lucid Flex accounts. They're really, really nice. I love them a lot. And so, yeah, we just look to, manage our risk as according. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know in the description. If you guys watch to the end, make sure you guys comment in trading. And then if you guys want to join my free Discord, it will be linked in the bio, as well as my coaching program if you want one-on-one help with me. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.